Hey, what's up, Robot Rednecks? I have a new review of episode 6 of Mystery Science Theater 3000 on Netflix. We're talking about season 11 episodes. And okay, we finally did it. We got to Star Crash, which is an episode I had put on my wish list and really wanted to see them do. And wow, that was really exciting to see that I actually got a guess right. Also, weird fun fact is YouTuber and channel Awesome Guy Brandon Tennold. I believe they did 3 movies he had reviewed on his channel, which is pretty hilarious, actually. Hopefully, maybe we'll see some movies that he's done some really cool cult films on his channel, so it'd be nice to see more of those pop up on Mst3k. Speaking of which, by the way, before I move on to this from this subject, I will be doing another wish list video of movies I want to see on season 12. I may include a few I left off on the previous one, but I'll be mostly adding some new wish lists. Because, oh my god, there's so many movies I want to see done on this show. It's just too much. Alright, now, let's get to the movie at hand. Sha-la-la, let's live for today. And let me just go over a few things about this one. First off, I really enjoyed the opening with the spin the bottle bit. And I love when Jonah gets kind of cornered into kissing Servo. He goes, well, you know, who cares, you're a robot. Which made me laugh. And then, let's see. That kind of like, essentially like, I think Joel did like a very similar bit previously. So that kind of like, this opening really felt very familiar. Not to mention, speaking of people hitting on other people, we get to see like Max hit on Kingo, which is not working out. I'm really liking the way their relationship is developing, much in the same way I'm enjoying the relationship between Jonah and the bots. The invention exchange is pretty funny, and we get to start seeing like an old trope from the old show where the mad scientists are stealing ideas from our heroes like jerks. And I think it's very subtly done, because they were doing it like almost since the second episode, but it was so subtly done. Like they'd be talking about something and they'd steal it, or they'd steal some kind of like idea from what they've been doing. So instead of like directly ripping off. And then, of course, the BB Servo joke. You know, that looked really good with Servo's head on the BB body. And it's one of the things I like so much about that practical effect in Star Wars, that BB isn't like a CGI character. And to see it done on Servo is just so perfect. And it's so wonderfully realized. I love the joke that once they cut back to them, like, oh, those Disney lawyers just sued us so bad. they had to take the body. Alright, now we get into the movie. And the movie, speaking of ripping off Star Wars, which I'm guessing that was a joke on, Star Crash is one of the more infamous ones because it's so blatant. And, you know, they even have one of those, what do you call it, laser swords in the movie. They have a character, you know, scary character in black with a cape, and you know, they travel from planet to planet. The only thing really missing is a princess that needs to be saved. Oh my god, and we almost, I don't know why we didn't get that. Although I like the fact that one of the main heroes, let's see, is a female character, so I thought that was kind of neat, although she gets rescued every 5 minutes, so it's one of those annoying things, especially in old movies, when they make the hero a female character, she'd still have to be saved over and over again. God, that's annoying as shit. Anyway, some of my favorite riffs I wrote down, like Star Crash, the Haley Berry story. And they do this space song that had kind of like a Beach Boys kind of vibe, and they really like committed to it. Instead of just singing like a couple of notes and going on, they like really went into it, almost to the point like you'd see in the host segments. Let's see. Oh god, the scene when our heroes are all together, and I think it's Crow says this looks like a community theater version of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, yeah, they do look cheap as shit. And Also, I like the joke about the villain looking like a white Count Chocula. And there's a lot of walking in space. Yeah, it's a Corman film, so yeah, even with more effects, even with the fact that they modeled after like Lucas Spielberg type of filmmaking, yeah, they still use their good old fashioned, padding out, walking. Let's see. One of the things I like so much about this, let's see what what did I write here? I don't remember what I wrote here. This is in my notes. Master Stroke was pretty decent. Oh yeah, they have a big guest star, and you've probably already seen the episode. So it's Jerry Seinfeld, and Jerry Seinfeld shows up, and I know that's probably a surprise to some that like a huge star like Jerry Seinfeld would show up, but Joe Hodgson is really well connected, and he knows a lot of the comedians from the 80s and 90s. So it's probably just a matter of fact of just calling a couple up and going, hey, you want to show up in Mst3k and do a thing? The Master Stroke bit was kind of okay. What's interesting and cool about this is it sets up a storyline that goes on through the rest of the episodes. Because one of the things that I think is interesting about Kinga's relationship with Jonah and her whole evil scheme plan thing is, it's not so much taking over the world, but she's doing Mystery Science Theater as a reboot to get ratings and power, and that's in itself a commentary about reboots and remakes and the charge that gets thrown against them, whether it's fair or not. And they're going right in with that, where she's like, that's exactly what she wants to do. Name recognition, she even says at one point. And Master Stroke actually gives her the idea to do something reality show-ish, like hooking up with one of the other characters or doing some kind of big splashy thing. And she does further on in this season and sets up the cliffhanger. But that seed is started here, where he kind of gives her this idea, and she goes, oh yeah, maybe something. And that's kind of a neat bit of storytelling. The fact that they had a chance to sit down and write all these episodes together, which is kind of cool. And I think it's done a little bit more subtly than they had to do with the Sci-Fi Channel, which was the first time they experimented with storytelling and story arcs and stuff like that, which they're not really fans of doing anyway. So it's cool that they can do these and they can be standalones, because that's one of the things I guess about the first season of the Sci-Fi Channel episodes is they're really tied to each other. And these are a little bit looser, but you can still enjoy them in succession or just on their own or in different orders or whatever. So yeah, this episode is amazing, and it's one of those movies that you'd hope they do, because not only did they get to make fun of a Star Wars knockoff, but they can by extension make fun of Star Wars and other films like that. And they sure do, and they have a lot of fun. Like I mentioned, this is one of the episodes where Jonah and the bots really do feel cohesive. In the first couple episodes, it feels like more they're just shooting jokes, rapid fire. Now, I think at this point in the series, you do feel like they're friends kind of sitting together, watching something, kind of reacting off each other a little bit more. And by the end of the season, we'll talk about that in other episodes. In the end of the season, really does feel more cohesive in that way. So this is a great episode. This is probably my favorite episode of the season. It's really hard to tell. There's a couple that are really good, and I'll get to them. There's some more coming up in the season that I really enjoyed. But this one, I'm going to give definitely 5 out of 5 Ram Chips. I love this one a lot. I hope you did too. Let me know in the comments you want to talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the notification bell, and we'll be talking about it later. So push the button, Lindsay.
They don't play the song on the radio.